Welcome back to the Takeout. First it was no, now it's yes. President Trump says House Republicans should vote that way, yes, on releasing the Epstein files, saying there's, quote, nothing to hide, even though, well, the president could have them released himself, bypassing the House and Senate, but we're not there yet. Even if it passes the House, vote scheduled tomorrow, it could be buried, as I mentioned at the top of the show, in the Senate. We don't know exactly where the GOP leaders are on that, but for more insight, I want to bring in Matt Brown and Shelby Talcott. Matt is politics reporter at the Associated Press. Shelby, White House correspondent for Semafor. So, in the Oval Office this afternoon, President Trump was asked directly, do you want the Senate to pass this, and would you sign it? Matt, he didn't really say anything that was definitive on that particular specific question.
Yeah, it's been really remarkable over the last 48 hours or so from President Trump, where after weeks, if not months, of him whipping on the Hill, pushing back on the release of these files and on this effort by
Congressmen. And by whipping, we mean pressuring Republicans to vote no.
Opposing the effort
yes.
by Republicans, yes, by Democrats and some outstanding Republicans, such as Congressman Thomas Massie and his erstwhile ally, Marjorie Taylor Greene, to release these files. Now that it seems that after maybe 50 to 100, we were hearing Republican members of Congress may have backed the effort to support this. He's now seemingly changed his tune and said that this is something that he can get behind as long as, with multiple caveats we should note, but also equivocated on whether or not, now that you're seeing some Republican senators be pressured on this, including some allies like Senator Rick Scott and others, Senator Tommy Tuberville has come out and said that he'd vote for this. You're seeing President Trump have to adjust himself to the situation where Congress is feeling so much pressure on this that they're shifting even from his longstanding position.
Shelby, there's an old saying in politics, if the parade is passing you by, run out in front of the parade and pretend like you're leading it.
Yeah, exactly. And that, I think, is exactly what's happening here. You know, I think the president saw the writing on the wall. He did try hard to convince Republicans to drop this. And I think he realized at some point that wasn't working. I also think it's notable, you know, people close to Trump who talk to him often, Trump allies, have been confused about why he is opposing all of this. And so I do think that there have been conversations, right? I've talked to people close to the White House who have noted that they've talked to the president and sort of made that argument of this isn't going away, just let it happen. And so clearly something changed the president's mind, and now he is supporting it. And I do think that his comments this weekend saying, okay, fine, release the files, the House should vote for it, is going to convince at least some senators to back it who probably would have opposed it because Trump was opposing it.
Exactly. Marjorie Taylor Greene is not the only figure in this story, but she's not an insignificant figure because she supported this initiative when the White House was opposed to it, did so knowing that would probably incur the president's wrath. That wrath this weekend came to full flower. Traitor, lunatic, not endorsing her. And Marjorie Taylor Greene was on CNN yesterday talking about a new type of politics, a friendlier, less aggressive, less pugilistic rhetorical form of politics. And Dana Bash did what we all supposed to do, remind people of what their past record has been, and said, you know what, Congresswoman Greene, you weren't really concerned about rhetorical excess, except now that it's creating possible threat matrices for you. And here's was her response.
I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part in the toxic politics. It's very bad for our country. I am committed, and I've been working on this a lot lately, to put down the knives in politics. I really just want to see people be kind to one another, and we need to figure out a new path forward.
She also said it was a fair question to remind her of her past, which is a new place for Marjorie Taylor Greene to be.
Yeah, it's kind of a remarkable shift from Marjorie Taylor Greene, this kind of reinvention of herself. But I also think it speaks to the broader question that this fight between Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump speaks to the broader question of what is going to happen to the Republican Party after Donald Trump leaves office in 2028. And you're seeing how I think Marjorie Taylor Greene's fight with him is kind of a smaller example of that much broader fight of what is the Republican Party going to stand for and who is going to be the next leader.
Matt, it's a prism into what this future might or might not hold.
Absolutely. I mean, for years we've discussed how Trump has almost an elemental bond with the Republican base in so many different ways. There are very few.
And that elemental bond is with him as well.
There are very few people in the party who have a similar similar connection to GOP voters in this day and age, but Marjorie Taylor Greene is often one of them, where she really does understand where the space is headed, what they're feeling, and she, in a lot of ways, has listened to her constituents, sometimes to the great frustration of many people in the Republican and Democratic parties, but on this issue of the Epstein files and on other issues on America First policies, she is echoing what a lot of conservative GOP voters who backed Trump have said, and that is leading to some of the fissures in the party that you're seeing right now on which direction does the GOP go on the Epstein files, on foreign policy, on economics. Her schism with Trump, I think, really gets to so many of those divides.
Shelby, I got 40 seconds. Zohran Mamdani, mayor-elect of New York City, communists, we're going to hold money back. Now Trump keeps saying, we're going to meet with them. We want everything to work out in New York.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is an example of the president kind of thinking ahead, right? Saying, I'm gonna invite him to the White House. I'm gonna say, let's meet. But at the same time, I've talked to so many Republicans who say they plan to make Zohran Mamdani sort of the face of the Democratic Party because they think that it's going to be sort of a losing thing to make him the face because he is so progressive. And so I do think this is an example of the president saying, well, I'm going to try my best. But now it's up to him, right? He's sort of leaving it up to the other side.
Shelby Talcott, Mac Brown, thank you so much. I appreciate it.